Things you've got to do to get ready for a game of golf. It's like
the official Iron Maiden golf bag.
Eddie on the front, name and everything, and then also Eddie on the ball pocket. Boys and girls, our very own Eddie golf ball. Expensive, boys and girls. Worth it.
Haven't hit a golf ball for many months. Get ready for a laugh.
We're actually on the first tee.
But there ain't nothing like those double bogey blues, man. Actually, I haven't got a license for this.
That is fantastic.
What really kind of got me geared up and wanted to play the guitar was I heard Voodoo Child, and it was Jimi Hendrix. And that was probably one of my, obviously, one of my biggest influences. Just that pure expression and spontaneity and the way he just played, the showmanship, the everything, he had it. And after that, I got into people like B.B. King, Freddie King, Buddy Guy. So his majority was a lot of the blues stuff.
My influences was the Beatles and Ringo Starr. After that, the Stones came along, and I was really influenced by Charlie Watts' playing. Some of the jazz drummers, Joe Morello was really what sort of inspired me to play, but obviously I'm not a jazz drummer. But he really kicked me into wanting to be a drummer. And I guess my musical influences affected the way my outcome in my style of playing. And once The Who came out and I saw Keith Moon, that was me. I was like, that man is my hero. And you know, that influenced my style of playing to a great degree. And then, of course, John Bonham. So those four guys really moulded my shape of my style of playing, I feel.
Get in that hole!
I've always been a hard hitter. I've always liked to hit hard. So rock was the natural kind of environment for me to fit into. It was actually progressive blues when I first started to really start slamming. Watch out.
The first guitar I ever had, it's about 14 years old, and it cost me probably equivalent to about probably $8. And it was kind of made out of balsa wood, and the action was about 2 inches high. And I kind of thrashed around with that for a little while, and after actually bleeding fingers and immense grooves into, you know, the tips of my fingers, actually trashed it. And then after that, my mother actually paid for me to get a guitar which was Woolworths Top 20, and this was an electric one, and it was pretty much like a Stratocaster.
Drum kit my mum and dad bought me when I was for Christmas, 1963. A John Gray Broadway kit. There was a 3-piece drum kit, a little 20-inch bass drum, with a 12-inch tom, by I think it was 8. Only one drum head, and a snare drum.
I was working with many various jobs, electrician, as a motor mechanic, I mean, all sorts of stuff. And then when we actually signed a record deal and became professional, it's funny because my father, the first thing he said to me, what are you going to do about your pension? And you collect your pension when you're 65 years old. So he was kind of thinking long term, you know, because the music thing can always be a bit unstable. But I think when you believe in something so much, I just was totally motivated and driven as soon as I started getting into music. So I think that's the thing you have to have in life. You've got to believe it, you just got to focus on it. And you kind of, you know, it's almost like tunnel vision sometimes, but once you focus in on something, I think you can achieve anything. And the main thing is always enjoying yourself and having fun.
Lovely roll, yay! I held down a number of different jobs, then I settled into working at a bottle making factory that made glass containers and bottles. And they'd sent me to college once a week and 2 nights a week, and I did that for 4 years. And within the time that I was doing that, I was still playing, and I had the passion to be a professional player. I was semi-pro really, you know, going playing pubs when I was 14, 15, and clubs and bar mitzvahs.
When you're on the road, you know, you spend a lot of time travelling in hotel rooms, so this actually gets you out the hotel and out, you know, into beautiful nature.
Yeah. Good. Hold it. Oh, you're okay. You protect your head.
Beauty. Nice and a half, buddy.
The fans, I mean, you couldn't do this without the fans. They're putting you where you are, so we've always maintained that kind of street level thing where we'll go out there, we'll sign autographs, even though there's 50 of them, we go out and 100 of them, we go out and sign them. And I think that's all part of it, you know, you have to kind of, they give you so much. I wouldn't change it at all. If there's anything I'll change over the last, you know, 20 years, how long we've been together, I think it's just been, it's unfolded like a dream and it's been magic.
Here it is. Yeah! We were doing a tune called Flight of Icarus. And I used to count it in, it was like 1, 2, do, iggy bagger. Bruce used to go, scream for me. Scream for me, Brazil! Actually, this was the third night at Hammersmith Odeon on the road. And he goes, scream for me, Hammersmith. Scream for me, Hammersmith. He usually do it 3 times. And before he got the third one, I went, and started the song. Nobody started with me. All the guys came to the stage, you know, like round the front of the drum riser, looking at me like, oh, what have you done? And I can't just stop. So I thought, so I played the passage out. Da, da, da. So we all came. It was as though it was actually contrived, you know. So I got myself well out of the doody pot. I tell you, it was embarrassing.
Most embarrassing. It's been over the years, I think. Bumping into Eddie a couple of times, you know, there was one time actually where he like swung his arm and actually cracked me right in the face, and so like blood, split lip and everything. That was kind of embarrassing. And there was one, and another time actually I jumped off the drum riser, and as I jumped down I felt this twinge and actually tore the ligaments in my right knee here. And so I had to go on stage and finish a tour with like about a dozen gigs with like a plaster with a cast on my leg, and because of the going up on the platform like this, I had to be carried on stage and carried off again. That was an embarrassing moment, you know. And I'll think of another one in a minute as we go.
All right. Oh, that looks good if it's got the leg. Nah, short, Dave. Straight down the spout though. Me and my bud. Maybe 5.
That's index 15, so you want it.
5.
It's going to roll a bit.
Where's my partner?
Actually, I'm completely lost. Right, yeah.
Hardest song to play? It's difficult. They're all hard to play. They're all hard to play. Sign of the Cross is probably most, because there's quite a lot of changes. You've got to really... Probably that's one of the most difficult ones at the moment. Blood Brothers, because there's a lot of moods in terms of different types of feel within the songs.
Blood Brothers, I think, is a great song to play because there's so many different time changes. There's very heavy up-tempo things, there's clean melodic stuff. So I think that kind of represents a small picture of Iron Maiden. When you go on stage, you get the adrenaline going, and you go out there and play and just go for it.
Well, I'm just about tearing this hole up, ain't I?
I think that's the thing with Maiden, all the material, is that everyone's stretched and actually everyone's pushing just to get that little bit more out of each other and play. So it can be challenging, but I think that's the thing about this band is you can actually creatively, you can actually express yourself great and really push yourself to a limit. And that's a good thing. I think there's a maturity and everyone can improve over the years, and I think that's touring. We played Run to the Hills the other night. We haven't played it for like 8 years, and we never rehearsed it. We just went on and done it, and it came out great. I think you never get tired of a song because we don't sound check in the first place. We just turn up. So although we know the set list and everything, there's a lot of spontaneous things that happen. You know, the sound changes a little bit every night. So they never get boring to play because you try and pull out. There's a different excitement, different audience. So most of the times the fans they come to the show and they're real positive. In fact, that's the thing, you go on stage and play, and if there's any aggression in there or anything, it will actually be released. And I think that's the thing, they can actually go there singing along. So if there's any anger, you know, it's actually gone. And I think that's a good thing about this music. So it can be a release in that respect.
Beautiful drive. That is a great turn, Dave.
We found the halfway house, which is most definitely exactly what we wanted and needed at the right time.
Yes, we need some replenishment.
I'm wondering whether we'll get the rest of the round in.
What round? What, the beer round or the golf round?
The beer round. Whose shout is it? Rod's go, isn't it?
It is.
And then after that,
So it's my go.
after that, we're going to go to the show,
We are,
aren't we?
absolutely.
So we shall see you
Later on.
later on. Adios, amigos.